Hi, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Mairead.
We're from Celtic Woman.
And you're watching
Undercover.
And welcome to Undercover with a very interesting story today. We welcome in Lisa and Mairead from Celtic Woman. What a great story we have to tell. Huh?
Yeah.
It all started back in 2004 and you were there at the start.
Absolutely.
We were, yes.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing 6 years, yeah. We were both approached by David Downs back in 2004 and asked, would we be part of this one night show for PBS TV in the States? So I think we both agreed to do it on the basis that it was only going to be
One night.
One night.
Yeah.
And here you are 6 years later and
Here we
travelling the
are.
world.
Yeah. 6 years later, six
Yeah.
years older. Yeah.
So at that moment in time when you thought, this is a good idea, you could not possibly then have imagined the millions of records that would be sold.
No, we couldn't have. I mean, it's just amazing. We've had so much support, haven't we, from all the people all around the world, and it's great to get here at last to Australia as well for the first time with Celtic Woman. So.
Yeah. But also in America, I've been looking at the American chart for the last couple of years, and you haven't been out of the American world music chart.
No, it's been incredible. I think we have a huge, very loyal fan base in the States, and I think we initially probably thought it was just a United States phenomenon, but we went to Japan. It was huge in Japan. We were in China. We were in South Africa. We did a tour of Europe for a while as well. So it's just been it's a show and a CD and DVD that's just full of variety for people. I think people like that because they can connect with the songs that they're familiar with. Most of them are very familiar to people, and they like what we've done, and there's something for everyone within what we do.
What was the original idea that David approached you with? How did he pitch it to you?
Well, when he rang me up anyway, he just said it was a show with the girls, and we hadn't met at this stage. We knew of each other, but we hadn't met. And the first time we met was on stage. So, what better place to meet, I suppose, and it all clicked, and we just blended, and it was something magical happened that night. And really, he just said, it's going to be a concert for one night, and you'll do your thing, and the girls will do their thing, and we'll all, you'll have a few solos each, and we'll do ensemble numbers together, and that'll be it, and it'll be great fun, and that was it.
Yeah, and it has been great fun. Lisa, what were you doing immediately before that?
I was still in Riverdance. I actually worked with David in Riverdance. He was the musical director there, and he's the musical director and composer of Celtic Woman. So I was actually on maternity leave, so 3 weeks just before that I just had a baby. So I think I was still delusional at the time. I was like, okay, yes, I'll do it. Anything to get me out for a few hours.
And Mairead, what were you doing?
I was working with David actually. It was a play in Dublin in the Abbey Theatre called The Chakran, and but I had done lots of session work with him before that, and lots of studio work. So it was great to get to work with him again now on Celtic Woman.
You mentioned the magic occupation there of maternity leave, and this seems to be something that is, I guess blessed or plagued. I don't know how to say it for this particular group, but over the course of time, people don't seem to leave this group because of a run-in, do they?
No.
They seem to leave because of maternity leave.
Well, it was actually, I think it's only myself and Maeve that were pregnant on the road. I had just had my second son when I joined Celtic Woman, and I left. I was only gone for 10 weeks on maternity leave with my daughter, because I worked right up to the very, very end. But so it has. We lost one member because she wanted to stay at home, but it's only ever been family issues that people have left the group, and that's important because it's a very easy group to work with. We've been blessed with the girls that we have had prior to what the group is now. It's always been wonderful. We've always gotten on really well, and the very fact that there's no competition between us because we're not in any way similar.
Yeah, we're not similar.
To our performance, to our musical backgrounds, to our personalities. We're all very, very different girls, and I think that really has helped. And
yeah, it's great. It's
we have
great.
age on our side too.
Yeah, a bit of experience, we all get on, and we're very supportive of each other, and it's women on tour at the end of the day, and it's very important to support each other on tour, on stage, off stage. because we tour a lot together, you know, we do 5 to 6 months of the year touring on average, you know, so it's like a second family on the road.
Yeah. Now, I've seen a lot of rock and roll bands and what goes on backstage. I mean, how would the rider for a Celtic Woman tour differ from the rider to a Van Halen tour?
I'll tell you, we're so easy to please. We really are. You know, it's, again, as Mairead said, it's very important for all of us that we do support each other, and that you know, obviously being on the road together, you do have times of tension and stuff, which is normal in any job. That's normal, but it's never escalated, and I think that's because we are easy to work with, down to simple things like the rider. We've always been very easy to work with. Honey and lemon, bananas, and water. That's all we have in our dressing room.
Really?
Yeah.
Has there ever been a Spinal Tap moment?
That you don't know where you are?
Well, we were
in Cleveland,
going around the theatre there. We were doing the whole Spinal Tap thing, you know. We relived that moment just for the fun of it.
Yeah. But it's, you know, touring is touring, and there's no getting away from it. And what we do, you have to tour, but it's worth it for every night that we get out on the stage.
It's our favourite 2 hours of the day, isn't it? Our favourite 2 hours on stage every night. Just absolutely magical. Every night is different for us. And you know, it's communication with the audience at the end of the day. Sometimes I call them the orchestra. They're like an orchestra. They give something, you know, back every night. You know, it's different. It's very different every night, and we're very passionate about what we do, you know.
Now, Hayley Westenra had a short stint with the group at one point. Yeah,
she did one of our DVDs
we
as well.
We miss Hayley,
and we do miss her. Hi Hayley, how's it going? But you know, and her birthday's in April as well, so a lot of our birthdays are in April and May and all that. So we all, you know, we keep in touch with her, and she's a great girl. You know, she did one of our DVDs. She was on tour. Did one of the tours for a short time in the States. And she's great. Yeah, we had great fun.
Yeah. Now, I've noticed in some of the articles, journalists have referred to you as like a Celtic Pussycat Dolls or a Celtic Spice Girls. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I don't think it's not an accurate description of what we are at all. I think people might be very disappointed if they think we're going to be dancing around poles and stuff.
We haven't quite reached that.
No, it's poles. I mean, it's not. It's very much a family show.
Yeah, it is.
Very, very much, and that's really important to us. It's been wonderful. I mean, you know, people come into meet and greets after the shows in the States, and just even people with young teenage daughters going, it's just I'm so great that they're into this, and that, you know, it's a nice thing for the parents to see their children into, because they can all come along. Everyone can come along and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a safe show to bring everybody to, of all ages. Do you know what I mean? And it's, you know, that's not to say it's not boring in any way. You know, everybody, each of us have our own solos. As Lisa was saying earlier, we're all so different and dynamic in our own ways. So the audience, actually, they did say of the Spice Girls that, you know, different people were picked their different girl, you know, and it is a little bit like that with us. All right, we do, each one of us have our own little fan base and kind of thing, but we all come together on stage for the ensemble numbers, and it's great. And there's just so much to with the show. We're bringing over Songs in the Heart to Australia as well. There's so much to look at. It's such a visual thing, as well as a feast for the ears, and there's a new set, new beautiful gowns that we're so lucky to have, and, you know, just different things. So it's dynamic in a different way, I would say.
It's a massive entourage as well, isn't it? Because, you know, you've got orchestra in there, you've got choir in there, even bagpipes.
Yes, we do. We have 7 band on stage with us, and we have 6 choir, and the 4 of us, and then we have a huge crew and
our 2 big percussion rigs.
2 big, we have 2 big drum risers as well, our great drummers. So it is, it's a big tour.
What about the decision-making process for song selection? Because, you know, it's everything from Danny Boy to Sting, Fields of Gold, Van Morrison, have I told you lately? It's a very broad spectrum of songs. I would imagine, like, you know, when you're dealing at that level, there must be a lot to cut down to what you need to get to for one set list.
Sure, well, David's in charge of all of that. So I think, because, again, coming back to the fact that we're so different as well, I think if any one of us were in charge of the music, it would go in a different direction. He's been able to work with each of us separately, and he knows what way we sing, what way we're comfortable singing. You know, there's never been sort of any pressure to conform to anything. We've still kept very true to each of our own sound as well as part of the ensemble sound. So he's very good at picking stuff that suits us and that he knows we will sing well. And that's been the main thing.
Yeah, he's been great, and of course his arrangements are the common thread through the whole show. They take you from a journey from beginning to end, and even though the numbers differ so much in style, because we're all so different in the ensemble numbers and the solo numbers as well, the arrangements have this Celtic edge to them, and they bring you on a journey from beginning to end. And of course, you know, us together as an ensemble, we have our own sound as well. So that's the common denominator, if you like, from you know, literally from the beginning of the show to the end of the show. So it unifies and solidifies the whole thing, even though there's so much different material.
Sure, I guess covering an artist like Van Morrison, he sort of sits right in the middle then, doesn't he, of the traditional Irish music and pop music.
Yeah, and it's very important that the show isn't just Irish music, it's Celtic music, and there's so much, and as Mairead was saying, the way David arranges stuff as well, he can make everything sound, I give it a Celtic sound or an Irish twist on it, which is very, very important.
What about Van? You know, where do you put him in the very important people through to, you know,
He's
somebody just kicking
incredible.
off today?
Oh my God, we're huge fans of his.
An incredible artist.
He's amazing. God, you know, and wow, he's just an amazing songwriter.
You've worked with
you
him,
know,
haven't you?
I have a little bit, you know, and he's incredible. He's kind of iconic at this stage,
Absolutely,
isn't he?
Yeah. You've had a go at the Christmas album.
We have.
We did.
It's now one of those favourites that everyone pulls out every year, isn't it?
Fantastic.
It's an album that we're very proud of. It was a
love
lovely
it.
album. We had a great time.
It was
doing
in
that.
when we shoot that in
2007,
June. It was
June
It was in the
2007.
summer, actually. So we were
Christmas in July.
Yeah, that's right, July, and we had the Christmas tree, and even in the studio as well. When we were doing the CD, we had a Christmas tree in the studio, you know. So that was funny.
Yeah.
Just missed the turkey and ham.
I know.
Where you're at with the next record? How far down the planning stages is that?
Well, I don't know. I think we haven't managed to bring this everywhere yet. You know, we only released it in January of this year, so it's sort of been every 2 years we've done a new CD.
Yeah, I mean, Songs from the Heart is our new CD at the moment, and DVD, of course, you know, and we're, as Lisa was saying earlier, we're very, very proud of it. We work very, very hard at it, you know, and the songs are very close to everyone's hearts, literally, you know, and they mean something to all of us individually. And you know, we're very proud that the DVD, and as well as being number one in the Billboard charts, it was number one on the main DVD charts, beating Michael Jackson for a week.
For a week,
you know,
it was
we're
great.
very, very good, you know, because we're huge fans of his. But you know, it's just great. You know, it's just fantastic support from people to get your work recognised like that. It's brilliant, you know.
Yeah, because it must be amazing touring in the American market, because you know it's such a big market. But you know, I mean, we constantly hear about problems in the music industry, problems in the touring industry. I'm taking it, you know, that's not really affecting your business at this point.
Well, we have a wonderful team.
Yeah.
We're very, very lucky. We do, and there are problems touring. Everybody's seen it. There's tours being pulled left, right and centre. Again, we have a wonderful team that put this together for us. We have an amazing fan base that are so loyal, and there are people who travel from one side of America to the other side of America to do it. So we are lucky that we appeal to that section of the market too. So I think that's been our kind of saving grace.
So, you know, it's obviously a very much full-on, full-time job. How much time do you get to yourselves?
That's
You know,
pretty
when do
much
you get to
all
go home?
consuming, all right. I mean, by the end of this year, we'll have toured about 8 months of this year, which actually has been the longest we have toured since Celtic Woman has begun. But yeah, you know, I mean, it is a big love of ours, you know, and it is all consuming, you know, and at least Lisa has her family on the road, which is fantastic, you know, and it's very important. Again, we're all very family orientated, and you know, it's busy, but you know, it's something we're very passionate about, and we love it very much.
So what happens when you're not being a Celtic woman? What do you get up to at home?
Packing and unpacking. I seem to just spend my life packing and unpacking. It gets to, and I think the longer the break you have, the worse it is, because my clothes never come out of my case.
And you
But you catch up with people, you see
do.
family
It's
and
great.
friends, and it's wonderful to be home.
Do you keep in contact with each other?
Yeah, we
Keep
do.
in contact. We wouldn't see each other much.
We
though.
don't see each other really at all. I mean, we live quite, you know, we all live around of course, the Dublin area and Wicklow area, but and we'd be always texting each other, all right, you know. But, it's just, I suppose, when we do spend a lot of time together of the year, a massive amount of time together, 24/7. So, and also we've all our families and friends to catch up with at home, so we don't really get a chance to spend time together at home.
It's not done
Very
deliberately.
odd
It's
time.
just
Yeah.
you always know that
Yeah.
in a couple of weeks' time you're going to be back.
Yeah.
And you do that as well when if you tour so much, you do that with other friends too.
Yeah.
You're inclined to kind of go, oh, well, look, I know I can see that person towards the end of the week and it'll be fine. And
Yeah.
it's the same with us. It's always been like that. And then you have so much more to talk about when you get back on the road as well.
Exactly. You just pick up where you left off,
Never believe what happened.
Wait till I tell you.
Oh no, that happened weeks ago.
Did you not know that?
Honestly, this is the conversation with the two of us.
That's what I'm witnessing here. I can imagine the phone calls. Well, Lisa and Mairead from Celtic Woman's, good to have you out in Australia and right around the world. That's the story, Celtic Woman. Thanks
you.
for joining us here at Undercover.
Thank you.
Thank you.